Morning, discombobulated here. Life's been a real adventure lately. I heard back from that guy that I met with about the remodeling job on Wednesday, and he wants to hire me. And it's $23 an hour, so it's $6.50 more an hour than I'm making now. And then most of the work is pretty local, so I think the gas thing's gonna be doable, and I'm just ready to get out of this situation I'm at with the city job and the warden and just kind of all the rigmarole and monkey business going on here. So I'm pretty excited about it. Life is just kind of like a roller coaster adventure lately, and it felt good just to have somebody sort of acknowledge my skills and want me to come to work for him, I guess, at the remodeling job. So I drafted up a 2-week notice resignation letter and sent it in yesterday, and it's kind of bittersweet. I'm with all the things that I don't like. I'm gonna miss working with Johnny. I really loved that relationship, and I'm so thankful that there was a supervisor type, man, and just like a really good man came into my life, and he kind of just made me really feel, I won't say he built up my confidence exactly, but maybe it was like that, but it was just really good to be liked, and have him want to work with me, and him and I had a good time working together, and I just enjoy being in his company, and look forward to seeing him every day. It's going to be a drag not to leave him. And when I told him yesterday, he took it really well, but I could tell that it really threw him off, And so then I really felt bad about that. And so that part's hard, and then I don't think I'll be able to maintain that relationship in any way. It's like somebody that would have been in my life for a season. But I'm super glad to have had this season here with Johnny, and I am going to be glad to get away from the warden, and then like the stupid Monday meetings and the other meetings that we have all week, and just some of the other dumb stuff that goes on here, and they've been hiring people to replace the other 2 guys that left, and then we got a girl who came, she's like about 19, and she's real nice, and I've worked with her, and she's really cool, and she's gonna work out good. And they're supposed to be hiring, well, now they'll be hiring somebody else for sure, but I think this is a good job for like a high school student, or somebody just out of high school, or somebody who can afford to just make $16.50 an hour, like say if you live with your parents, or something along those lines. But I wish that tractor hadn't started up over there. It's not too far. That's just here in the industrial park, well, anyways, I wanted to talk about a mushroom trip I had, and I finally worked my way up. Well, I had mentioned that one day I'd started with like 1 gram, and how it kind of just made me feel hollow, and maybe a little emotional, but mostly just like this hollow feeling. And then I went to 3, and then it made me feel kind of emotional, lots of thoughts about my parents and stuff like that. And then I tried 5, which is right at that threshold for what they call the hero's dose. And it was a kind of a disappointment, because I felt like I just skittered along the top of a serious trip, and it just felt like a lot of warm feelings about certain people, and thought about my folks a lot. My folks are getting older, and I'm scared my dad's gonna die pretty soon, and just feel like I'm not ready for that. I just feel like, oh Jesus, man. And But it's like kind of just I was on the edge of the atmosphere, and I wanted to go back and see that purple monster and have him teach me some more. And so that was a disappointment. And then I thought, well, maybe these shrooms aren't that good, So I went for 8, and that was the ticket. I didn't visit or meet the purple monster, but it was kind of like went back in time, like a movie of my life, and all these past relationships and people and women that I knew, lovers that I had, and I felt a lot of regret and remorse about some things that I had done, like some girls I had cheated on, and relationships that I left for like no good reason except for maybe I felt like I could find a girl that was prettier or somehow better or something, and I passed on some really wonderful relationships when I should have stayed, and so, but I felt like that kind of sorriness that I feel like Jesus wants us to feel, to be forgiven. Whereas before I was like, oh, it sucks that happened or whatever, but I never felt that sense of remorse and like just absolutely so regretful and sorry. Like, and I just, oh my God, I just screwed up so many times. But I mean, I touched on like all kinds of relationships, other men that I had known at work and stuff, and then like family stuff, my brother, lots to do with my dad and my mom, and like feelings of love, and like I wanted to take care of him, and like I feel like I should move there to be closer to him and take care of him. And I never really felt like that before, because I've had kind of a, well, let's just say a kind of a rocky relationship with my folks. I've put them through a lot back on my drinking days, and I don't know, just stuff, but it was a lot of crying. I mean, a lot of crying and sobbing, and yeah, I'd be laying down most of the time, but then sometimes I'd find myself sitting on the edge of the bed with just snot coming down out of my nose from crying and tears, and then like the whole floor was wet and gross with snot, and like the volume of like the crying was just outrageous, but it felt good at the same time. It was like some kind of gates were opened up, and I just felt like I realized, like, say, my brother, my parents, and then I have a thing I've never really talked about before that's one of the most painful parts of my life, and that's my relationship with my daughter. And that really came to the forefront, and so I felt like I learned a lot about who and what was important to me. I felt I learned a lot about ways I messed up and things I was sorry about in the past. And there were some pretty good visualizations and like, fractaling and colors. And, there was a couple times I wanted to see what time it was, but I couldn't even figure out how to use my phone. I would pick it up and it was all like fractaled and colored weird, and like, and then I would start to like touch the screen, and then I would have to just give up. It'd just be like, well, I guess I can't check what time it is, and but it was a good experience. Even though the cats were there, everything was good, and it's funny because when the one cat, she'll always get on me, and she seemed like an electric ball of fluffy energy, and that part was pretty cool. But I feel like that experience helped me, and is maybe kind of helped my depression, some there too. So I'm excited about that, and kind of want to go a little deeper, and I feel like I kind of found the sweet spot with the dose, so that's a good thing, but well, I guess I better get on into work. Thanks for listening to me.